Hi there, it's Saturday, June 22nd, and time for Proverbs 22. Let's jump over there and we'll get through it real quick here. A good name is to be more desired than great wealth. Favor is better than silver or gold. Right? It doesn't do any good to have lots of money if everybody hates you, okay? Okay, and nobody likes you. And you could probably think of 2 or 3 people right off the top of your head that have lots of money that nobody likes them. Okay? Okay. The rich and the poor have a common bond. The Lord is the maker of them all. All right. The prudent sees the evil and hides himself, but the naive go on and are punished for it. You're charging into evil? Yeah, not a good idea. Prudent. Let's highlight that just for kicks. The reward of humility and the fear of the Lord are riches, honor, and life. You got that? The reward of being humble and fear, I'm just going to say reverence, fear for the Lord, reverence, following him. The reward for that is riches, honor, and life. Got that? Do you want riches and honor and life? Be humble and follow the Lord. Okay? It really is that simple. Thorns and snares are in the way of the perverse. He who guards himself will be far from them. Thorns and snares. There's a good one. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Right. Now this has been used a lot. Lots of and most kids will strike out at some time of their life on their own and say, I want to see what the other side's like. Be kind of a prodigal per se. But yeah, if you raise them in church, when they're older, when they need it, they'll come back to church. Okay, it's guaranteed right there. And my children are in their 40s, and I have found this to be very true. Okay. The rich rules over the poor, and the borrower becomes the lender's slave. And they have been very careful to turn most of us into slaves now. Hard to say, but if you got credit card debt, if you got a mortgage, if you got a car payment, you are a slave to your lender. If you don't pay them exactly on time, when they want to be paid, they'll treat you like a slave. They take all your stuff. Hard to admit that, huh? But yeah. He who sows iniquity will reap vanity, and the rod of his fury will perish. Iniquity will reap vanity. I'm going to look that up in my Christian Standard edition over here. 8. The one who sows injustice will reap disaster, and the rod of his fury will be destroyed. The one who sows injustice. I could think a lot of judges come right to your mind right now. Huh? Sowing injustice. Yeah. He who is generous will be blessed, for he gives some of his food to the poor. Right. That's good to be generous. I have found that the most generous people are the poorest people, too. They're always willing to share. Isn't that amazing? Those are the ones that are closer to God. 10, drive out the scoffer, and contention will go out. Even strife and dishonor will cease. Yeah. There's some people, just get rid of them. Put them out. Okay? He who loves purity of heart and whose speech is gracious, the king is his friend. Right? The king is his friend. The eyes of the Lord preserve knowledge, but he overthrows the words of a treacherous man. Okay? This Lord says, there's a lion outside. I'll be killed in the streets. It's lazy people. Any excuse, right? Any excuse. Too hot outside is too cold outside. That's too far. That's too close. The mouth of an adulteress is a deep pit. He who is cursed of the Lord will fall into it. Right? Stay away from other people's property. Okay? Foolishness is bound up in the heart of a child. The rod of discipline will remove it far from him, right? Spank your kids. Okay? Spank your kids. Don't be afraid to spank your kids. Don't beat them, okay? He who oppresses the poor to make more for himself, or who gives to the rich, will only come to poverty. There are people who oppress the poor to make more for themselves. Okay? Taking advantage of them. 17. Incline your ear and hear the words of the wise, and apply your mind to my knowledge. For it will be pleasant if you keep them within you, that they may be ready on your lips, so that your trust may be in the Lord. I have taught you today, even you. Have I not written to you excellent things of counsels and knowledge, that you may, to make you know the certainty of the words of truth, that you may correctly answer him who sent you? And I believe the other one's called us 30 sayings. Yeah, 30 sayings. That was in chapter in 20. What did they? Previous. Yeah, the other was in chapter 27. I've written to you 30 sayings, 30 proverbs that you are supposed to memorize, basically, and know them. Okay? Make you certainty of the words of truth, that you may correctly answer him who sent you. Right? That you'll always have an answer on your lips. Okay, and these are the 30 sayings. These are important. So these are the ones you're supposed to memorize. Okay? And it covers like 3 chapters. So. Okay, number 1, do not rob the poor because he is poor, or crush the afflicted at the gate. For the Lord will plead their case and take the life of those who rob them. Got that? There's a lot of people who rob poor people just because they're poor. Do not associate with a man given to anger, or go with a hot-tempered man, or you will learn his ways and find a snare for yourself. Right? Some people are just very hot-tempered and angry. They want to beat on people, and it's not good. Do not be among those who give pledges, and among those who become guarantors for debts. If you have nothing with which to pay, why should he take your bid from under you? Right? And he says this a lot. Okay, never co-sign. Never guarantee somebody else's debt. Do not know the ancient boundary which your fathers have set. Do you see a man skilled in his work? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before obscure men. So, there you go. That's the beginning of the 30 saying. Then it'll go on for a couple chapters. Okay. Again, I don't know why in chapter 20 it doesn't say, have I not written you excellent things of counsel and knowledge? It says, in all the other versions, it actually says, have I not written to you for you 30 sayings about counsel and knowledge? And some Hebrew texts actually do say excellent things. Okay. So, let's see what we highlight here today. Not a whole lot. We highlighted 3. The prudent sees the evil and hides himself, but the naive go on and are punished for it. Think of these protests, these people crashing, smashing, grab stores and smashing all the windows and grabbing all the stuff, and they don't do anything about it. Man, that's crazy. I'd have the National Guard in there. Shoot them. But one person, okay, if you go blasting it, stop it. Okay, you're gonna get beaten to a pulp. Okay, just hide. You can't. One person can't fight hundreds of people bent on destruction. At least not directly. Okay, and 4, important. The reward of humility and the fear of the Lord are riches, honor, and life. Yeah? That should stick with you. If you are humble and you fear the Lord, okay, the Lord loves humble people. That means no pride. The rewards are riches, honor, and life. Think about that. Yeah? Think about that. And we highlighted 6, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Right? If you train them right, put them in church when they're young, they'll always come back to it. They will. It may take a long time, but they will come back to it. Right? We highlighted 7, the rich rules over the poor, and the borrower becomes the lender's slave. Right? Some of us are lucky enough to be out of debt and have no debt, but it's a very, very small percentage. By and large, most of us have a mortgage or a credit card debt, or we are in debt to some powerful, rich entity that, and you're going to do what they want, or they're going to take away what you have. That makes you a slave. Yeah? What else we highlight? We highlighted 23. I think we highlighted that before. Do not rob the poor because he is poor. Crush the afflicted at the gate, for the Lord will plead their case and take the life of those who rob them. There are people that take advantage of the poor. Okay? There are entire sides, okay, for lack of a better, this side and this side, who rob the poor because they're poor. The poor don't have the ability to fight back like the rich person does, so they rob the poor because they're poor. Okay? They would rather, instead of getting $1,000 from a rich man, they would rather get $10 from 100 poor people and oppress them and get more money. And that happens a lot more than you think, all over the world, And the Lord's going to plead their case, and he won't get away with it. Yeah? So that's what we highlighted. That is Proverbs 22. We started the 30 wise sayings you're supposed to memorize. So, and I think what we're doing in 1 Kings 12 to 14. 3 chapters in 1 Kings. So, there you have it. That's Proverbs 22. Remember, train your kids well. Be wise, be humble, and follow the Lord, and everything else will follow. Sound words. See you later.